Yeah, let's do a little Monday Night Football. It was a big night last night. It's like we get off the plane, all of a sudden there's a Monday night game on. Let's go there. Washington and Seattle, kind of a funny thing. When we were taking off, when we were getting out of Baltimore, we're sitting there on the tarmac, and I'm going, that's Russell Wilson's airplane right there. Russell Wilson's plane was sitting right there on the tarmac, the R-Dub, and I'm going, why is Russell Wilson's plane there? They were playing in D.C. D.C. and Baltimore happened to be pretty close. So let's listen in as Russ takes the L against the Washington football team. Here's some of the sound right after the win.
Oh, yeah. Everything we need is in this room. Everybody in this room we need. We've got to work together, stay together, and be the team that we can be. We will not take it from anybody. I don't give a shit how they stack it against us. We're whipping it. Now let's play football. Here we go. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
That's pretty awesome. How do you hear that? How do you see that celebration there, Rod?
Man, that's what I'm talking about. And the Washington football team will always have an opportunity to win because they got a good defense, they can run the football, and they got a veteran coach that understands those players in the locker room. Ron Rivera is a Super Bowl champ, 85 Bears. He's been there. He's done that. He knows exactly what it takes. I am pumped up about everything that's going on.
And Taylor Heinicke is a competitor. I mean, I remember back to the game against the Bucks in the playoffs last year. It's really how he earned this opportunity to go compete for the job. He's just a competitor. He's one of those guys just going to leave it out there. And I think he gives you enough opportunities clearly to win the game. And like you're mentioning, they got this great running game. I thought they just out-physicaled, out-willed. Even the pass rush, they were getting some big shots on Russell Wilson in this game. But Taylor Heinicke, to me, is just one of those competing guys that's always going to give you a chance. Look at this right here. Beat the pass rush, beat two guys, go make that throw on the sideline. Some guys just have that factor, and he seems to have something about that to his game, Rob. What are you seeing from Heinicke?
I look at the skill players around them. They got some really good skill players around them. Antonio Gibson, he showed us something different. I mean, he came back, he was running harder, he was running faster. Logan Thomas is a big tight end, big athletic tight end. Love him. Terry McLaurin, this is a kid that has had several different quarterbacks. He's never complained. He's never, said, oh my goodness, I got to go with this quarterback, that quarterback. He just continues to go out there and plays. He's one of the best young receivers in the game. They have a really good offense. They got some weapons on the defensive side of the ball, those big boys up front. Washington football team with that experienced head coach could go some places. Obviously, they still got to deal with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that game with Dallas looking a whole lot more interesting at this point. And Washington is in the playoffs right now. The Washington football team hanging on to a playoff spot. And this is a team in Seattle that I'm used to being, as you take a look at the NFC playoff picture. But you're used to Seattle being tougher and grittier than most opponents, especially you get them in prime time. You're not used to seeing sort of the fight being taken out of that Pete Carroll defense, but I thought that was what Washington did. Even that touchdown drive, the way they're moving them off the line in that run game, and then the two-point conversion, they go right back to just hammering it. They were hitting some huge plays on screens, on running back screens in this game. Really an impressive performance as Riverboat Ron Rivera out-coaches Pete Carroll, which was pretty amazing to go ahead and watch.
I think it's time for a change in Seattle, whether that's Russell Wilson or whether that's Pete Carroll. It's not working out. You look at Russell Wilson, he did not look happy. And everybody knows this offseason he wanted out of Seattle. He wanted out of Seattle. He wanted no part of being in Seattle. And when you watch him, and as a quarterback, he says we have to do a better job of getting DK Metcalf the ball. You're a guy that makes over $30 million a year. You have the utmost respect in that locker room, and you mean to tell me as the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, you cannot make an adjustment and tell DK Metcalf to run a bubble screen, a slant, a quick out, a comeback, something that gets him involved in the game. You don't want a talent like that over there pouting on the sideline, rolling his eyes, and talking negative to other players, because now that's dissension within the locker room. You don't want that. Russell Wilson needs to be a better job of stop thinking about himself and start thinking about the team and getting his playmakers the ball. That's when they're at their very best. And obviously they have to find a run game. I think he had 2 rushes for like 16 yards, and he was the leading rusher. You have to be able to run the football. You can't be one-dimensional. We see what's going on with Buffalo.
Yeah. And how does it take until the very last series, that game, potentially game tying drive? They needed the 2-point conversion on top of it. But that was the first catch that we saw DK Metcalf get. I mean, to your point, there's so many easy ways to get a freight train like him the ball. End around, little screen, quick out. Take a shot, just throw one up to him. For it to be all the way until the fourth quarter before you even get him a touch, and it was an easy little out route touch, that's a mistake, and that's how you end up losing football games. They don't have enough playmakers to not get their best. The ball.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.